Hello and welcome to Global News Factory. I'm your host Vikrant. Russia has just painted a glowing radioactive red dot on Germany's back, and it is not just metaphorical. By scrapping the 1996 Military Technical Cooperation Agreement, Moscow has basically said, the Cold War is back, baby. And this time, Berlin, you're not just the battlefield, you are the target. Let's get this straight. This deal was the final firewall, and Russia has just pulled the plug. For nearly 3 decades, that agreement helped prevent misunderstandings, accidents, and unintended escalation between two military industrial giants. It created backchannels, it avoided misreads, it was insurance against World War III, and now blown to pieces. The Russian message is clear. We no longer see you as a partner, we see you as a future enemy. The timing could not be more alarming. Germany is doing everything to earn Moscow's wrath. They have become Ukraine's sugar daddy for weapons. They're sending tanks, shells, air defense systems, and now long-range missiles. Their defense minister is out there talking about German troops being all set to kill Russians. And the Chancellor himself, Friedrich Merz, just declared that diplomacy is over. Let that sink in. Germany first killed diplomacy. Russia has now ditched a military pact. Welcome to the era of cold steel diplomacy. So what could go wrong? A lot. Let's count the ways. Number 1. No more guardrails. This agreement helped both sides manage military incidents. What happens now if a German drone strays too close to Russian airspace? Or if a missile Germany gave to Ukraine hits a school in Belgorod? Before, a hotline, a backchannel, a de-escalation team, but now just war posturing, bluffs and threats. Second, intel cooperation between these two countries is now dead. Russia and Germany used to have protocols around military R&D, tech sharing, which was limited, and intel exchange in areas like arms control. But that is over now. Berlin is now blind to Russia's next move, and Moscow will treat German defense tech as a hostile threat. No nuance, no exceptions. Third, Russia now sees Germany as a direct combatant. This is crucial. Until now, Moscow pretended NATO was fighting a proxy war, but now Lavrov openly says that Germany is directly involved. Now that changes the rules of engagement. In military terms, Germany is now a fair target. Fourth, Germany's own territory may come into the crosshairs. Few weeks back, Russia warned that it knows the location of Germany's missile factories. That was no bluff. If Germany keeps arming Kyiv with long-range weapons used to strike deep inside Russia, Moscow may retaliate not on Ukraine but on the source. Don't be surprised if a mysterious sabotage takes place inside German arms production plants. Russia has done it before. You can ask the Czech Republic. And fifth, this emboldens NATO hawks and unravels EU diplomacy. With no cooperation framework left, the German political class will now push harder for escalation. They have already announced plans to jack up the defense budget to 153 billion euros within the next 4 years, up from 86 billion euros today. There is even talk of reinstating military conscription. From Berlin to Brussels, the Cold War mindset is back. But here is the real danger. Germany is not ready for war, but it is acting like it is. Its military is still under-equipped. Its population is not trained for war scenario. That is a recipe for disaster. Russia is not listening to Berlin anymore. They are aiming at it. This is not just a diplomatic divorce, this is Russia taking off the gloves and telling Germany, you are next. And with the old cooperation pact gone, there is no protocol left to stop a miscalculation from turning into a missile launch. Europe is sleepwalking again, and this time it is walking straight into Moscow's red crosshairs. Alright, let's talk about Mark Rutte. I call him NATO's chief motivational speaker. Apparently, he has decided that he is now the world's trade cop, roaming around with a megaphone, threatening sovereign nations like he has got some divine mandate to shape global economics. Who the hell is this guy? A former Dutch PM who clung to power for 14 years, earning the nickname Teflon Mark because nothing, scandals, crises, or common sense seems to stick to him. Now he is NATO's Secretary General, a role that is supposed to be about collective defense, not playing economic hitman for the US. Yet here he is wagging his finger at India, China, and Brazil like they are naughty school kids.
Secondly, that President Trump said, basically, if Russia is not serious about peace talks, within 50 days he will slam secondary sanctions on countries like India, China and Brazil. So my encouragement to these three countries particularly is, if you live now in Beijing or in Delhi, or you are the president of Brazil, you might want to take a look into this, because this might hit you very hard. So please make the phone call to Vladimir Putin and tell him that he has to get serious about peace talks, because otherwise this will slam back on Brazil, on India and on China in a massive way. So I think it was a very smartly, wisely designed announcement yesterday by President Trump, but also the weapons I think is very important, and we will find the money in Europe to make sure that Ukraine has what it needs to be in the best possible position during these peace talks as soon as they start.
What a clown show. Okay, let's start with the audacity, the sheer audacity of this guy. Rutte is out here acting like NATO has the authority to slap sanctions on anyone, when his job is about military alliances, not strong arming global trade. Listen, Mark, NATO is not the WTO, and you are not the sheriff of the global economy. Your threats sound like they were scripted by a B-movie villain, all bluster and no bite. Make the phone call to Vladimir Putin. Really? What is next? Telling Modi to send Putin a hitting WhatsApp message? This is not diplomacy, it's a tantrum from a guy who is clearly out of his depth, parroting Trump's anti-BRICS line like a loyal lapdog. And let's talk about the hypocrisy here, the hypocrisy dripping from this sanctimonious sermon. Rutte has got the gall to lecture India, China, and Brazil about buying Russian oil, but where is his fire and brimstone speech for the EU? Last year, the EU shelled out 18.7 billion euros for Russian fossil fuels, more than the financial aid they sent to Ukraine. So Europe is still funneling cash to Moscow, but somehow it is only the BRICS money that fuel Putin's war machine. Wow, spare me. Hungary and Slovakia, NATO members no less, are still causing up to Russian oil. And Turkey is another big buyer. Where is Rutte's ultimatum for them? Oh right, he is conveniently silent when it comes to his own backyard. Classic double standards. Call it Western privilege with a side of selective outrage. This whole stunt reeks of geopolitical desperation. Rutte's threats conveniently align with Trump's 50-day ultimatum to Russia, which smells like a joint attempt to bully BRICS into submission, just as their influence grows. Let's be real. Mark, you are not exactly scaring anyone here. India has already told you to shove your double standards where the sun does not shine. with their foreign ministry pointing out that energy security is their priority, not your ego trip. Rutte is acting like he's got the power to enforce these sanctions himself. Rutte is just a filthy mouthpiece, a middle manager with the delusions of an emperor, trying to sound tough while his own alliance members are quietly buying Russian oil. So, Mark, here is a tip. Stick to your day job. NATO is supposed to handle security, not play trade cop with sovereign nations. Your threats are as empty, as hollow as your diplomatic finesse. And your sanctimonious posturing only exposes the West's hypocrisy. If you want to talk about funding wars, maybe take a hard look at your own allies first. Until then, keep your ultimatums to yourself. You're not fooling anyone, least of all India, China, or Brazil. And moving on, Taco Man, Trump is back. And this time he is throwing punches at BRICS like it is a boxing bag filled with rupees and yuan.
We can never let anyone play games with us, and that's why when I heard about this group from BRICS, 6 countries basically, I hit them very, very hard. And if they ever really form in a meaningful way, it will end very quickly, I will tell you, for them. They won't be gone very long. I don't think they'll even do it.
BRICS is just 6 countries, says Trump. Wait, 6? Someone please send him a globe and a calculator. BRICS has 11 members, not including voices in his head. And then came the punchline. If they ever form in a meaningful way, it will end very quickly. And? Like what, Don? Your fitness goals, your New York business license, or your bedtime tango with Melania? And very quickly. On Truth Social, Trump went full mafia mode. If they want to play games with the dollar, they will be hit with the 100% tariff. Bro, it was you who started this game, no? It was you who turned the dollar into a political tool or a bullet, sanctioned everyone from Tehran to Moscow. Now you are crying foul because BRICS picked up the dice. Trump is mad because BRICS is no longer a sleepy acronym. It is a block of real muscle controlling resources, markets, and minds. And that scares the hell out of Orange Man. Now let's talk about New Delhi's stubbornness. India keeps dodging the idea of a common BRICS currency like it is a pothole on Delhi's ring road. All we hear is, let's trade in national currencies. Fine, baby steps are cool, but when the dollar is weaponized like a Tomahawk missile, a BRICS currency is no longer an option, it is a lifeline. And for the kick India out of BRICS crowd, hold on, here is a free history lesson. India is a founding member. It was in the room when the name BRIC was born, back when most of you were still thinking BRICS was a Lego set. So no, India is not leaving. And if it fumbles, we will call it out. But don't even dream of erasing it. So, Trump's rage, Western panic, NATO's shaky knees, all of it screams one truth: the world is shifting, the empire is aging, and BRICS is becoming the storm they cannot contain. Let Trump scream tariffs all day, because the louder he yells, the more we know BRICS is working. And that's all for now. Thank you very much for being with me. You're watching Global News Factory.